All right. I think we're live. Excellent. Okay, hello friends. Good afternoon, late afternoon. Oh, so if you've been following along, you'll know that today we are going to talk about quilting and sewing, and I've been pretty much just putting off doing my quilt. So, it is what it is. But I have a friend who requested some little drawstring bags, and so I popped out and grabbed some fabric, and I am cutting drawstring bags. That's my exciting afternoon, is making drawstring bags and cutting drawstring bags, but it's totally fine. Anyway, but my friend Lauren is here, and she has been working on her quilt, so I thought maybe we would take a look at what she has done. And we can talk a little bit about, quilting and in that sense. So I know I'm kind of boring, aren't I? I have so many things that I want to talk to you about, but it's just been crazy trying to get everything fit in, and we are already talking about putting in another order to Japan because we have sold through a lot of our tatting shuttles. There are still a few left if you are looking for one of the pastel or the bright sets of 5 tatting shuttles. And there's also still some of the indigo. I think I have 2 indigo left and 4 red. So not a lot of those left either. So we may end up making yet another Japanese order yet this fall, just because we ended up with so many people that were happy to get tatting shuttles. So, and I'm happy to supply them because I love ordering my stuff from Japan and getting that box, and they're so fast on their shipping. It's amazing. It's amazing how quickly my shipments come from Japan. So anyway, what else do I need to tell you about? Don't forget, we are still doing Year of Self-Care, and October is all about using the things that you learned during September's like back to school, and yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. I don't know, feeling kind of slow today. I'm trying to get things done, but kind of slow. So anyway, hence the I don't really want to work on my quilt very bad vibe. But I am getting set up to sew a bunch of bags, and I'm probably going to use the serger for that. So if we get ready, I might just pop the serger up and we'll play with the serger for a little bit. So not exactly your typical Wednesday video with Kelli anymore, because we have been focusing more on spinning recently, but Spin Together's all done, so I'm not planning to do any more spinning videos for a little while. And I know Socktober is going strong, but I just really didn't cast on for socks. So we're going to talk more about tatting this month, and we'll do the stitch along again on Monday. But remember, I am here next week, and then I'm gone the following week, but then I'll be back. So there's just always something going on. Always something going on. Anyway, and I'm just like very calmly and slowly cutting my little drawstring bags. Drawstring bags are really, really easy to make if you like to sew at all. So anyway, I have friends that have asked me already if I could make not sheep coats, but lamb coats. I'm like, what do you need lamb coats for? Really? I mean, come on, people, you want me to make lamb coats? I don't know. I may get sucked into making lamb coats in the future, in which case we'll take a look at those as well. But currently, I'm just cutting up, it's kind of a cute fabric, right? Not terrible. Cutting up my fabric to make the drawstring bags for my friend. So Just little drawstring bags. But we are going to use the serger because I like using the serger. I think it's fun to use the serger. And Ina is not like excited to take a nap today, so that's a bit of a struggle. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, I'm usually peppier on these things. I can show you my quilt pieces. So this is my box with all my quilt pieces in it. So I started getting this all sewn together, and then I realized I had lots of extra squares. And that was because I had forgotten some fabric at home when I went to my friend's house and started working on this. Because I was going to make a bigger quilt than what the pattern called for. And that meant that I needed more of this blue, which I had left at home. So that didn't help me in my quest to get my top done because, you know, couldn't really sew it together. But my friend Lauren is much further along on hers, so we're gonna go take a look at what she has done. So, uh-oh. There we go. There's Lauren. This is my friend Lauren. And this is what she's doing. She's working on her quilty strips, and she's taken very good notes, because notes are a very important thing when you're trying to make a quilt, as we learned. Because we didn't take good notes the first time, and then we had issues. But it's amazing how, like, the whole quilt top will fit in, like, a 1-gallon baggie, or, like, in my box. Mm-hmm. But the whole quilt top, even all these little pieces. But, yeah, so let's see. She's also got another piece over here that she's working on. So here she's been putting this strip together. And one of the things that, that we learned was you need to be careful and put your strips together correctly, because if you don't, you get to do something called seam ripping, where you tear the seam out because you sewed it wrong. And we both did that on this quilt. But I really like how hers is coming together with the pieces kind of in this diagonal pattern. And I like this green that she picked too. I think it's a really fun texture-y green. Anyway, once she gets her strips done, then she's going to go back in and iron them down. And one of the things they always tell you is that you should iron to either side. This is my poor child's hat. It came apart, and I said, oh, Mommy can fix that. It's been down here for a month. I really need to get that fixed. But, like, I have so many projects. I have all these projects out down here. Does anybody else have workspace like this? Or is it just me? Can't be just me. There's got to be other people with workspaces like this. I mean, can't be just me, right? You all have lots and lots of projects going on, and, right? Make me feel better. Somebody say something. Oh, anyway. So yeah, eventually you will be, when you're quilting, you iron one strip to the right and one strip to the left. Some people like to iron the seams flat, but I don't know. I kind of go with the school of thought where you iron one strip to the right and one strip to the left, and everything works out in the end. But anyway, I think I will crack out my serger and make sure that I have my woven settings. This is something that I do recommend if you do a lot of sewing and you have more than one sewing machine and a serger. I have a little book where I just write down my settings so that if I'm doing like my woven bags, I have a note that says check your thread, and then I have settings for my serger and for my Janome for the 4623, which is that one over there. So I write down which machine I have them for, because each machine's a little bit different. But I write down my settings so that when I get ready to switch back and forth between knits and wovens, because I do that a lot, I make sure that I have all my little notes here so that I can successfully switch over and I don't have issues with my serger having loose threads or my edge not being very nice. So anyway, recommend writing down your settings. Let's see, move Lauren's stuff over, and then we'll see. This might work. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yay! I might be able to successfully, maybe show you what I am doing. Well, maybe not. Maybe we'll just do it this way. Try it this way. I'm trying to see, where am I? There we go. So here I am with my serger. So I don't have like a super expensive serger. I have a Juki, but it's a nice serger. It works well for me. One of the things that you need to do a lot with your serger is you need to clean it. Because if you can see, they get lots of lint in them. Lots of lint because they are cutting pieces. And oh, I think my child woke up. Oh, she has not wanted to nap today. She's been sick with a head cold all week and has not wanted to nap any day this week. But anyway, this is what the partial inside of your serger looks like. And then there is a little brush in here, and you always want to vacuum out your serger or your sewing machine if you're going to use air. You do not want to blow it out because you could blow dust and other things into bad places. But it's really important to clean the lint. There we go. Look at this, all this lint out of your serger or your sewing machine frequently, because you want to make sure that you don't have issues where your serger or your sewing machine is so packed full of lint that it won't work. So there's just my little PSA. Don't forget to clean your machine. All right. Let's see if we can get this turned on. There it do. All right, that's another thing. Always unplug your machine when you're done using it. Always unplug your machine. If you get up to leave, it's a good idea just to go ahead and unplug your machine, period, so that you don't end up with you know, some accidental surging. Okay, let's see if, hopefully that will work. All right, now I need to check my settings because I can't remember if I had woven or knits on here last, and it was probably knits. So, my cutting dial needs to be set to N, which it is, and what else do I need on here? My green needs to be set to 5.1. My blue needs to be set to 5.2. My red needs to be set to 7. My stitch width is correct. And my presser foot needs to be set back down to medium. And so now that I've done all of that, here's what I was setting. My green dial, my blue dial, my red dial. The cutting dial is down here. And then this is my presser foot dial, which I set back up to medium. It's also a good idea to raise the arm so that you have tension on your thread again. And these are just little sleeves to keep my thread from unspooling too quickly and making big messes. This one I'm not using. It's just hanging out over here right now. It's getting a little dusty. I should probably take it off. So let's see. Let's grab one of these. And the thing is with these little guys that they don't take a ton of work and wiggle room. Now hopefully this will just go and everything will be happy. We're gonna find out. Let's see. Okay, now when we get to the corners, there's a couple of different things that we can do, but my preferred method is actually to bring it off and then very slightly fold down my corner and get it back under here, and then serge again. So there's the first of my little bags all serged up and ready to go, and all I have to do is just turn down my casing and make my casing now. So anyway, I think it's kind of fun. And this is just, I don't know, kind of a fun print. Anyway, let's see, what other tips can I give you for serging? I don't know, those are my best ones, honestly. Always make sure that you check your machine, keep your machine clean, make sure that you turn it off when it's not in use. Always unplug it. Don't just turn it off, but unplug it when it's not in use. Just helps protect you and your machine. And anyway, yeah, those are my best tips. Oh, hang on. There. Now it's about right. So anyway, quilting, there's lots of tips for quilting, but I can say I love friction pens. They're really useful for both quilting and sewing because I used to mark with Sharpie marker, to be perfectly honest, because I was going to cut that off anyway. But I really love the friction pens. They're nice because they are heat activated to make them disappear. So not a terrible thing because, you know, I iron a lot of my stuff anyway, so it's easy just to run the iron over the friction pen and then color's gone. And that's how I mark a lot of the patterns for my knitwear, like I made this shirt. So that's how I mark like my patterns and things with my knitwear, is with the friction pen, because it's just useful and it just works. So anyway, what do I need to remind you about? So next Monday we're doing the stitch along. Next Wednesday we might do a walk through the garden before the garden completely dies back. And then the following week I won't be here. The week after that we're going to hopefully be done with the stitch along. Cross your fingers. Although it might end up going all the way through October. And then we're going to do some probably tatting at the end of the month, going into November, and then we'll be doing more Mediterranean knotted lace and weaving and stitching for the month of November. So, what do I need to remind you about? Don't forget to make your posts for your year of self-care, and don't forget to tag us, hashtag Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, so that I know that you have entered, because that's how I find your posts. And all you have to do is just take a picture of something you're working on and tag us in it so that I know that you're playing along with our year of self-care. And don't forget, I do pull a monthly prize winner for that. What else do we have going on? I don't know. So many fun things. We had a big book restock with all of the lace books from England, and we also had the big Japanese restock, and I have Perlovka that I still have not managed to get in the system, but that I need to get in the system checked in, because I had a bunch of new Perlovka thread that came in too. So anyway, all kinds of fun stuff going on, but I am super tired, and my throat is kind of still hurting because, you know, my kid kind of got me sick too. It happens. So I am going to let you all go for today, and we will talk more next week about all of the fun things that are going on at Black Sheep Fiber Emporium. So anyway, until next time, please take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and craftually, as I like to say, and make sure that you're doing at least 15 minutes of crafting every day. So I'll see you all later. Bye.